Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, of course, Panya Kodam, I want to say Ka'alayimla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Buha, Bakak Kadash, Wabrak Thom. The wanders and the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, we do this, rule and teach well, of course, doing this work with all sincerity, as well as to your brothers who are doing the same thing, teaching and doing the best you can to make your calling and let you sure. Coming in week in, week out, coming in the highways and byways, so on and so forth, doing your sit downs 3 days a week, at least 3 sit downs a week, sit down videos a week, so on and so forth. But get in here. Today's camp lesson is going to be a lot. As always, I go into news every day, but I like to really go more in depth on news on camp days. So this is the way I'm going to be running. Just getting news videos and tying it up to prophecy. Let me get my coat too because I'll get chilly. It wasn't this cold a few minutes ago. Well, yeah, it wasn't this cold a few minutes ago, and yeah, let's go into it. So I want to start out with one that's one of my favorites, Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that beareth the commandment shall be rewarded. Alright, so he that despises the word shall be destroyed. So people that despise the word, that hate this truth, that hate the holy that hate the holy days, that hate performing the holy days, people that hate the scriptures, they're going to be destroyed. Alright, they're going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. Alright? So let's go into that real quick. That word, I got put that on the blue letter on my end. Let's go. Blue letter. Yep. Don't send me notifications. There we go. Yeah, this is my first time using blue letter on the Apple. I have an old tablet here. So yeah, this is for that word despiseth, that word for despiseth. I could go on the King James and get it in the Paleo, but we're just going to go to the point. To despise, to hold in contempt, hold as insignificant, to despise, to show despite, toward. Alright, so if you think of the truth and you think it as something that's insignificant, you're going to be destroyed. Alright, but let's get the other part. Real quick. But he that beareth the commandments shall be rewarded. So if you're fearing the commandments, you're doing your best, to keep these commandments, to come out and to teach and to do your things, our holy duties, to pray, so on and so forth. You don't commit adultery. You don't eat defiled or just fucking disgusting, unclean foods. You don't eat pork, you don't eat shrimp, you don't eat lobsters. Alright? You're gonna be rewarded. What is gonna be your reward? Right? The kingdom of heaven. Alright, now in terms of camping, now as we know in the scriptures, I think it's 1 Corinthians 12. We don't gotta get it, but everyone has their spirit according to their measure. So not everyone is everyone's lot is to be a teacher. Some people some brothers' lot is just to hold signs up, or some brothers' lots are to be alms givers, to be helpers, to be leaders. Not everyone is always called to be a teacher. That's just the way it is. But you got to figure that out within yourself. The Spirit came upon me to teach, and I'm still learning, of course, reading regularly, and doing my homework, my GMS homework, that is. But let's see here. I was thinking of something. Because all that we're seeing here, man, is it's nothing new. It's nothing new. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1. They have rebelled and nourished their children. Let's start verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, and my people doth not consider. Alright, so these animals, they know what they're supposed to be doing. They're in right. They do things automatically. Now they're not entirely, as they were in the ancient world. I'm talking about in the times of Noah and before that, when animals were under our subjection. But that's something that's going to come back into the kingdom. You can read about that. I believe it does talk about in the earlier stages of Genesis. What were those angels that lost their first estate? So that one proves it right there. So yeah, a sinful nation and people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backward. And that's what our people have done. Right? They're not coming back, man. They don't consider. They don't consider anything more than be a rapper, than selling drugs, than serving their oppressor. Okay. They don't consider anything more, that life has anything more to offer than to go into a dumbass college. All right, everything they want to do is all carnal, man. All right? They don't consider the spiritual aspect of things. All right, and I actually want to. I should have set this up already, but. I want to have the parallel. Give me a second here. I don't know how to do the parallel here. Hold on. Give me a second. I hope I brought my NIV with me. Yep, I did. That's why it helps to have other versions too. Helps you every time you get the time to figure things out. So yeah, this is the NIV version. The ox knows his master, the donkey its owner's manager, but Israel does not know, my people do not understand. Alright, so our people, alright, which in America would be 2/3 of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they don't care. Alright, all they want to do is just be dominated. Right? They just want to serve their oppressors. They want to go to stupid ass colleges, as I said, sell drugs, kill each other. Right? They don't think or understand that there's something more to life than being a drug rapper, all right, or trying to make money in a shitty society with paper bills, okay, with fiat currency, which fiat currency, as we know, is money that has no backing. It's not backed by any silver or any gold, all right. Let's keep moving on. Verse 4. Woe to the sinful nation, a people whose guilt is great, a brood of evildoers, children given to corruption. And these people are given to corruption, man. Our people, as I said, 2/3, and anyone that's not the period of Israel, wherever they may be, all right, as we brought out in Proverbs 13 and 13, they're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to get that lake of fire in that second death, which is written in. Let's get that one actually. Let's go. Let's go. It's been a while since I've been out here, man. Let's get it. It's the book of Revelations, chapter 21, verse 8. Let's actually start verse 7. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right, so these niggas are gonna die, man. All right, because they don't care, they don't want to learn, they don't understand, and they're given to corruption. The Lord literally gave them to corruption, as you read in the NIV version, man. All right, it's all caused by the Lord. Our people, when you're out here on the highways and byways, and a nigga don't get it, all right, that nigga don't get it because the Lord didn't want him to get it. All right, so that's just the way it is. Let's finish up in the NIV, and then we'll go back to Proverbs 13. Verse, not Proverbs. Yeah, Proverbs 13. We're going to finish Isaiah chapter 1. This a little bit first in the NIV. Okay, yeah, there we go. So Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4. They have forsaken the Lord, they have scorned the Holy One of Israel, and turned their backs on him. You know, and that actually reminds me of another one. How people, they turn the shoulder. Let's see if we can find that. Okay. Turn the shoulder. Hold on. This ain't hard. Yeah. This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 7. Okay, I'll start verse 9. Zechariah chapter 7, verse 9. Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, or Lord of armies, saying, execute true judgment, and shew mercy and compassion every man to his brother. All right, and who is your brother? Your brother is your fellow Israelite. That's why when you read Romans 9, and Apostle Paul is breaking it down, he said, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, man. So when you read anything about giving honor to your brother, being respectable to your brother, and showing your brother respect, not having rigor over your brother, which that's going into something else. But whenever you read things like that, it goes into your actual Israelite brother, not going into heathen nations. We're not supposed to be around these fucking heathens. Now, of course, you know, we're here, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. You know, we got heathens that know us before we were in the truth. So when you're around them, you gotta play stupid. Say, hey man, yeah, and then you keep it moving, man. But we're not out here to be friendly with heathen. All right, let's get that one too. All right, let's go. Just need to. So this is good to start out with, man. Warm up. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. All right, we're not supposed to be doing that, man. We're not supposed to trim our ways to seek love, teaching these wicked heathen our ways. All right, now that's something that's going to come in, you know, which I think it's Isaiah the 2nd. But we are going to have these heathens. And all of them, all these heathens, they're gonna be worshiping and following Yahweh Shai. They're gonna be forced to. All right, before the 1,000-year period, they're gonna be forced to, man. Okay, during, well, not really before, but during, you know, after they're put in subjection, during the 1,000-year period, and afterwards, everyone except Esau, because Esau is gonna be destroyed. But as for the other nations, they're gonna go to their lands. But they're going to be tributaries. They're going to be servants. Right? That's what you read about. The other nations did not live until the 1,000 years were fulfilled. When you read about that in Revelation, the 20th chapter. But we don't got to go all into that. All right. But we know in our past, I think it was which Hyrcanus taught Edomites the truth. But Hyrcanus taught Edomites. Yeah. So yeah, John Hyrcanus. So we don't got to go all into that, but I know brothers mention that. I got to read up on this history myself. All right. But we're not supposed to be doing that. We're not supposed to be out here teaching heathens and being around heathens. Yahweh Shai said it himself in Matthew 10th chapter. If you want to go get that real quick too. It's the book of Matthew chapter 10. Chapter 10. And we'll start at verse 5. These 12 Yahweh Shai sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. All right, so don't go around these heathens. Now, as we know, the Samaritans, these heathens, they were placed there. You know, when you read 2 Kings and many other different scriptures that go into it. But Shalmaneser, he brought, well, Shalmaneser or Sargon, I don't know which one exactly, but one of those Assyrian kings put heathen in those lands. You know, they dragged the northern kingdom out, had them in bondage, and he put heathen in. All right, so you gotta go into that history. I gotta read on that one myself as well. But I just know the basic outline, man. And as you know, when you read second Ezra 13th chapter, they left that region, they got on boats and came down here to America. You know, that's how, you know, the Northern Kingdom got here to the Americas, and that's why when you read the sign, you know, all different parts of Southern America. Asher is from Colombia to Uruguay. I think it is Uruguay, right? Yeah. Colombia to Uruguay. That's all Southern America, man. That's all on this side of the globe. Right, so on and so forth. Gad, Reuben, so on and so forth. That's how they got down here. And that goes into, that's something else entirely, which we're not going to go on into that. Deuteronomy, the 28th, and around the 49th to 50th verse, a nation that shall come as an eagle from one side of the earth to the other, which is going into Esau, being you know, coming down to the Americas and conquering and taking down our people, so on and so forth. But we don't really got to go into that. But yeah, I just wanted to prove that point. This is the book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. You 12, Yahushua sent forth and command them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans, into ye not. So don't go talking to these heathen. We're not supposed to be talking to Edomites, man. Alright, the scriptures tell us that to cast our pearls before swine. And that also applies to our people as well. Our people that are still stuck in that heathen state of mind, we're not supposed to be talking to them. I got nothing to do with these niggas, man. You know, when niggas talk to me, I don't speak to niggas. You know, that's why they always talk shit about me behind my back. Alright, because I don't want to talk with them. I don't want to sell drugs, man. I don't want to shoot and kill my own people and catch a homie. Alright, and then now I'm gonna have to go to fucking prison. Fuck that shit. I'll catch a felony. Alright, hell no. Alright, and that's why these niggas, as we brought out in Isaiah the 1st chapter, people do not consider, man. But rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So go to the hopeful elect, man. Go to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Go to Israelites that really want to learn, man. And that's what we're supposed to be doing when we come out here. All right, so don't worry about, you know, all that bullshit, man. That's literally our job. That's our only job. We have one job to do. Proverbs chapter 13. But that was the point. That was the point. Let's see. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. I charge thee before the Most High and the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead as appearing in his kingdom. All right, so as we know in the scriptures, the dead, Yahushua shall rise first, and many other ones. They're going into that. But men that die in this truth, they're going to have, you know, their lot and their judgment, what they're going to be given. You know, us brothers, you know, Lord willing, you know, we make it to the end, and then, you know, some brothers are going to be beamed up into chariots, but others are going to die on this side, man. They're going to have what they're going to have, man. You know, I can't really go into everything because I'm not going to dig into things that are too high for me. Okay, as the scripture says, you know, King David said one, and then there's another one in the Apocrypha. The brother Bakam Mayam told me about it. But we're not supposed to do that. I'm not going to speak on a limb unless I can, you know, unless I know. Verse 2, preach the word. Be instant, in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So preach the word, come out, man. Be instant, in season, out of season. So always, you know, other translations going to go. Don't just do the truth and be in the truth when it's convenient to you. Always be in the truth. You know, like other translations say it along those words. Let's see here. Hold on. I really want to see if I can fix this. Oh, that's the button. Manage Bibles buttons. All right. Give me a second here, cause this shit's fucking vexing. When I'm looking for something and I can't get it. Yo, they don't have the new living. They don't have the NLT. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey, there we go. Hey, there we go. All right. Well, we need to flip this now. NIV, NLT. There we go. Preach the word. Preach the word of the Most High. It's the NLT version. Preach the word of the Most High. Be prepared, whether the time is favorable or not. All right. So always be prepared, man. Always be ready to go into these videos, whether the time is good or the time is not, man. You know, if people have to ask you a question on these highways and byways, answer the question. You know, always be ready out here, man. You're also supposed to come out here, be in season odysseys. We also use that, you know, as a scripture to show that you're always supposed to be out here. Now, of course, there's some limits. If it's a horrible snowstorm, I'm not going to go out here, all right? Or if there's a lot of ice in the ground, I'm not going to go out here. What if I slip and fall, all right? What if there's so much ice that I'm putting the sign on ice, and now the sign is going to get damaged? All right. What if it's so damn cold that it shuts my technology off, and I gotta cut it off? You know, those are just things to consider. All right. But you're supposed to be always in here, man. You're not supposed to have one video 2 months later then have another one. Verse 3: For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust they shall heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. All right, so our people, there's going to come a time when our people aren't going to listen, man. And that time is the time that we're living in right now. All right, 2/3 of our people aren't going to get it. All right, 2/3 here in America aren't getting it. They don't give a fuck. You know, pardon my French, but they don't care. They don't want to learn about this truth. They don't. As you see there with the who did not consider, they don't understand. They just can't get it, man. You know. Cover up the ears of my people. Give me a second here. Forget it, I'm not gonna look for it. Moving on. So yeah, so after their own lust, they're gonna just, you know, get on some bullshit. You know, having itching ears. Now let's go into that word itching ears, and then I got a precept on this. Having itching, scratch, tickle, make to itch, desirous of hearing something pleasant. All right, and that's what our people do. They want to always hear something pleasant. They always want to hear something that they want to hear. All right, they don't want to hear the truth. All right, that's a perfect segue into this one. That's a perfect segue to this one. Isaiah chapter 30, verse. Yeah, I'll start at verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Exactly, and our people don't want to. Fucking someone smoking, man. I hate this damn place. But yeah, our people, they don't want to listen. You know, they don't want to hear the law of the Lord. They don't want to. When you tell them that they can't commit adultery, they get mad. All right, what the fuck you getting mad for, man? Committing adultery is wrong. All right, even science tells you that adultery is wrong. All right, you commit adultery, you have sex with someone else's woman. There's actually DNA of a man that's left in the woman every time a man pops her. All right, so now think about that within a woman, how much DNA is in her mind, man. Even on a biological level, when a woman loses her virginity, you know, more often than not, she has the most connection to that person. You know, she wants to stay with that person the longest, because that act of penetration, it's let's see here. Let's get this one. There we go. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. Whoremongers and adulterers the Most High will judge. So yeah, so sex, which sex is marriage, as we know according to the scriptures, all right, is honorable. Okay, that's a connection between that man and that woman. It's supposed to be undefiled. You're not supposed to be sleeping with another man's wife. Of course, there's certain things if the man if he dies, then the woman can go marry another. But that's it. After that, after the second man, that's it. All right, and that's just the way it is. All right, but if you have sex with another man's woman, that's disgusting. All right? I mean doing it willingly. Now, of course, we can't be over righteous, but we also know that everything's lawful but not expedient. The scriptures say. But we don't. You know, it's still abominable, man. Either no matter where you slice it, no matter how else you dice it, it's fucking disgusting. You know. Oh yeah, here we go. There we go. Verse 4. And they shall turn away their ears from this truth, and shall be turned unto fables. Okay, so our people, they're turned away, and they're into fables. They're into these stories. Let's go read that too. Fables, mythos, speech, word, narrative, story, a narrative, a true narrative, which it's not true. Which some of these niggas, they get into bullshit, man. A fable, a fiction, invention of falsehood. All right, so they're turned into falsehoods, man. All right. This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith. All right, and one of those latter times, man, really we're at the end of the end. Now, end time prophecy, or really the beginning of the end, is when Yahweh Shai came on the scene and started to break things down. But now we're at the end of the end. We're seeing famines, we're seeing wars, we're seeing this whole situation being broken down in Ukraine. Now they want to evacuate U.S. civilians out of Ukraine. All right, so nothing's good is going to come to America. All right, and if you can't see it, you can't see it, and it is what it is. All right, as I said before, we're not supposed to cast our pearls before swine. I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm in here for me, bro. All right, because you gotta have that mind state too, man. Now, of course, you gotta be brotherly, and I'm not saying don't be brotherly to be a selfish asshole. All right, but these people on these street corners, like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to, beg people to learn, man, and plead with people. All right, let's get that one. Admonish him once or twice. Let me see here. Rebuke, I think it's rebuke. Once or twice. This is the book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 10. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. All right, so any man that's an heretic or someone that's not following the correct truth or follows a heretical doctrine, you admonish him once or twice, and after that, you reject him, man. All right, tell him you can get on your fucking way, man. Just have a good day, man. Now of course, we don't want to always be too antagonistic, because then some of these guys get fucking butt hurt, and then you have to sit here and argue with them and so on and so forth. All right, but you say, hey, man, have a good day, get out of here. Now, if they don't leave after that, then you fucking ignore them. All right, and that's just the way you just keep going, man. We've had niggas do that before. A little niglet came up here, stand on that corner right there. We told him, hey, man, get out of here, man. We don't want you here. You're not welcome here. And he decided to sit there. Then he tried to pull up some scripture Yeah, about Apostle Paul. I think Romans the 12th chapter saying that. Which that one is basically talking about the beginning. I think Romans the 12th chapter. Basically, just pay your taxes, man. Render. You got to go back to the other scripture. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and render unto the Most High that was the Most High. You have to pay taxes. You have to go to work to support yourself. You have to get a job, okay? But don't be giving these devils your all. Don't take that digital all. All right? You're supposed to pray and worship Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? But not worship Esau, man. All right? So yeah, that was the point. And as we know, you take that mark of the beast, you're gonna fucking die, bro. You know, I just gotta say it like that. You're dead. Like, don't take that bullshit, man. No matter what they do to you, hey, we want to do, we're gonna, kill you. We're gonna do this to you. Hey, man, if I were you, I would just say, all right, fuck it. Don't take that shit. All right, whatever you gotta go through, man. All right. This is the camp, so I can go through this. Acts chapter 14. Verse 21, and when they had preached the gospel to that city and had taught many, they returned again to Lystra, to Iconium, and Antioch. And here it's an NLT version, Antioch of Pisidia. To Antioch. Let's look at okay. And he said Antioch of Pisidia in an NLT version. So let's see. Because there's different Antiochs, as we know. Yep, Asia Minor. But there's also Antioch of Syria, which when I was watching the elders and apostles break down, some commentaries apparently say Antioch of Syria. The Antioch in Acts 15 was Antioch of Asia Minor. I'm highly doubtful that's the one. I'm more leaning towards Antioch of Syria because remember they had to go past through Phoenicia and they came up from up north. I doubt Apostle Paul would have to. He was traveling miles and miles and miles. Like 2,000 something miles all the way from Asia Minor. I kind of doubt it, man. Which I mean he would do that anyway if it was up there, but. I think it's the Antioch of Syria. When you look at Wikipedia says Antioch of Syria. Certain commentaries say Antioch of Syria. I'm leaning towards that one. I'm personally doubtful of Antioch and Asia Minor being the one in Acts the 15th. But yeah. So verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith that we must through much tribulation enter to the kingdom of the Most High. Alright, so through much tribulation, you can go into that word tribulation, never went into it. Ellipsis, G2347, pressing together, pressure, distress, straits, burden, anguish, tribulation, trouble. Alright, so through much trouble shall we enter to the kingdom of the Most High. Alright, we deal with that, man. We deal with troubles. We deal with people talking shit. Wherever you go, you get people that talk shit about you, say, oh, you're this, you're that, oh, you do this, so on and so forth. Which, personally, man, I don't even I don't listen to that shit, man. Alright? We don't listen to that shit. Just keep coming out here, man, because these niggas talk shit, but these niggas gonna die, man. Alright, these niggas are gonna fucking die. Dawadi Habashim Yahushai, too. Alright? Dead niggas. When I hear about a nigga dying in the news, I get a smile on my face. When I hear about a nigga getting his head blown off with a fucking shotgun, I smile, I laugh. And I don't smile much. As you know, the scripture said, a righteous man scarcely smile a little. Alright? But, hey man, when I see that shit, I love it, man. Because they're getting their judgment. And we know it's the Lord, because the Lord kills and makes alive in 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter, around the 8th verse. Alright, so when niggas die, the Lord kills niggas. The Lord hates niggas. Alright, but the Lord loves Israelites, man. Men that do follow him, as we know. Alright? But yeah, people probably gonna bug out, oh, he's saying the Lord hates niggas. Yeah, the Lord hates niggas. Verse 2, Sirach chapter 2, verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. All right, so you got to prepare your soul for temptation. You're gonna have temptation when you come into this truth. You're gonna have people talk shit. Even right now, people fucking what's that word? Ogling me, staring at me like I'm a fucking I don't even know, man. Like I'm an alien or some shit. Like what the fuck you looking at, man? All right, what are these people looking at? But you know what? Hey, I'm not listening to them. I'm not gonna look back at them. I'm not gonna talk to them. They come over here, unless they stand right here, then I'm gonna say, you know, you a damn devil, right? You know, and get down into the usual, you know. Verse 2, set thy heart all right and constantly endure, make not haste in time of trouble. So when you're going through shit, all right, don't be thinking you can try to run away from this truth. All right, stay strong. All right, set your heart, your mind aright. As the scriptures say, gird up the loins of your mind. You know, I know we're jumping around in a lot of places, but this is a camp, so this is expected. All right, we're just gonna go which way the spirit rolls, and then we're gonna get some articles sometime soon. First Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaks especially that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrine of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. Alright, let's get that one too. Alright, let's get that one too, because this is you gotta prove your points. Was it 18? All right, hold on. I thought it was Cyrac. It could be something else. Book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 2. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who has not fallen from his hope in the Lord. All right, so blessed is that man. Okay, and then as we read already, having their conscience sealed with a hot iron. All right, so there's a difference. Blessed is the man whose conscience does not condemn him. All right, we're those men. The Lord willing, our conscience don't condemn us. You know, speaking in the spirit, but you know, even though we're not the best, you know, we can't always bring out everything, you know, the proper way. Or sometimes you stutter, or sometimes you just, you know, you get a little bit of nerves. But it's the fact of the matter is this. You know, I did what I had to do. You know, I did what I had to do. I tried my best, and I came out here to go try and bring and speak and tell my people that they're the so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American is the Israelites according to the Bible. You know, I tried to go bring that out, so my conscience is clear. I have nothing worrying about me. When that time comes, we can go get that too. We can get into a little bit of prophecy real quick. It's the book of Amos chapter 8, verse 10. No, it's not 10. Yep. This is the book of Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. All right? So yeah, of course we know there's going to be literal famines. When you read Matthew the 24th chapter and many others that go into it, there's going to be literal famines, but this one is talking about a famine of the word. All right, there's gonna come a point where we're not gonna be out here on the highways and byways. And as of now, we just gotta wait and see how that plays out. As I brought out before, there was talks of having interstate travel restricted by having a COVID vaccine. Okay, but we gotta really wait and see how that plays out. I can't make any definite conclusions because I don't know. I'm waiting and watching just like you brothers, man. And I'd be out here watching daily. With a lot of y'all about shit me our shot. I'd be out here watching daily, trying to make sure I'm watching the news. I get on the BitChute. I get on the BitChute. I get on BitChute, Odyssey, and I go watch. And sometimes I repost them. I try to repost everything that I see is good. I post a lot of documentaries. I've been fucking with the documentaries as of late. About certain topics. But we're gonna get into a few of those things once I segue and get into these articles, cause I got a few of them, and we're gonna go piece by piece when we get to it. So yeah, verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So we're not gonna be out here no more, man. All right, we just gotta wait and see how that plays out. Whether it's gonna be Mark of the Beast mandates first, then they want to go get us off the street corners. I know brothers were mentioning things about Biden and some sort of thing about terrorism. How watch out for terrorism or some sort of thing. I think it was an alert. All right, but however this thing plays out, it's gonna play out however it will. Whether they say we're domestic terrorists and start arresting us, or they start searching for brothers, or so on and so forth. Whenever that time comes, it's just gonna be like that. All right, so on and so forth. Let's go back and finish up here, and I think I think we're ready to get into those articles. Verse 2. Actually, hold on. Yeah, let's start verse 1. Now, the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the last time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. All right, so that's what our people are doing. They're giving heed to these doctrines of devils and these seducing spirits. They're serving these demons. These demons are in their head and shit. All right, so on and so forth. But that was the point on that. There could be more I could go into, but let's maybe get one more, and then we'll get into these articles. We'll get into these articles because if I was to stay here, I'll spend the entire camp in First and Second Timothy's. There we go. Verse 5. But watch thou. Yeah, I'll go to Second Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. Watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, and do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry. All right. Let's look at that word, full proof. All right, but that's what we're supposed to be doing, man. Actually, I want to look at the word evangelist. Then we'll look at full proof. Let's just let it load a little bit here. That should be enough. Battery. I forgot about that too, about my battery pack. I stayed up pretty late. Brother Mikael had some problems with the train, so I had to stay up and wait. Let me get a little bit. Let's try this again. Okay, it's this. Oh, it is. Evangelistus. This is G2099 Evangelistus, a bringer of good tidings. All right, and what is the good news, man? This truth. All right, the good news is this truth. And to prove that one, I made a point earlier on, the Lord hates niggas. All right, let's get this one. I brought this out not too long ago. Psalm chapter 34, verse 17. Man, I'll go into 16 later. That's a good one. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. All right? So when you pray to the Lord hears us, man. The Lord willing, we're the righteous. All right? That we come out here, we're doing. I think the Lord just keep brothers in the right spirit. All right? But of course, us having a true end and a cut off. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Our true deliverance, our end time deliverance, which is gonna come, all right, is when we're in the kingdom. That's gonna be when we're really gonna get away from all of our troubles. All right, when we're in the kingdom, when we have our rulership. All right, when you read Daniel 7, we have the rulership and the dominion forever. All right, the saints. Which saints mean holy people, and that's who we are. We're a separate people unto our Lord. Let's prove that real quick. That one's easy, man. That's why he played fundamentals. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen you to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. All right? Who did Moses come down to give the law to? Israelites. All right? Who's the Lord dealing with? Israelites. Who are going to be saved? Israelites. All right? Not no heathens. Let's go here. Damn sure not no Edomites. Psalm chapter 34, verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. All right? And that's all of us in this truth, man. We've all gone through our shit, you know, in this world, man. We've all lost people, you know. We've all been through things. You know, whether it be someone that was very close to you, you lost them and they passed on. Are you going to meet that person in the kingdom? All right? But the Lord is going to stick up for people like that, man. People that have gone through things, man. You know, because this country, America, as we know, Babylon the Great, it's a city of confusion. All of us have gone through shit. Whether it be a woman committing adultery, all right, a woman committing adultery on you, all right, that's off. All right, but in this society, you cannot enact your vengeance here. All right, in this society, you cannot enact vengeance upon a whore for doing that. You're supposed to put her to death, all right, but you can't do that. All right. Verse 19. Many other afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth them out of them all. That's actually, we're going to stop there. Every verse 20, he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. That's really talking about Yahushua. All right, when Yahushua was murdered, Yahushua said, "Lamb without blemish." You know, he is that Passover. None of his bones were broken. All right, that's really going into Yahushua. But and that was pretty much the point on that one. We're done. We're done with the starters. We're done with the starters. We're gonna cut those off because we could really, if I got into all those scriptures, I could really be out there all day. All right, so we're gonna get into different scriptures, various precepts. You know, they go in line with these news. This is New York Times. CDC proposes new guidelines for treating pain, including opioid use. All right, as we know, opioids are a type of drug. All right, and those drugs, they mess with your brain. They mess with something called a neurotransmitter. They fuck with you, man. They fuck with your body. And according to the scriptures, that's off. All right. We'll get that one too. I was thinking of something. Why about Shimmy I'll try. You know. Let's get it. Let's get this money. This is the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 38, verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. All right, he that is wise will not abhor the medicines that the Lord created out of the earth. You have herbs, you have different herbal medications that you can take. You don't have to go take drugs, man, or take these drugs to get healed. Because a lot of times these drugs, they have other side effects that'll actually make you worse. All right. We're gonna get another one. We're gonna get something else first, just to prove the point about the drugs. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1. I'll start verse 11. And the Elohim said, or the powers, when you look at that word God, it's not talking about the Most High. It's talking about the Elohim, right? Yahweh Shai and the angels. You have to really dig deep, man, to get the understanding. You can't just say, oh, I see God. No, man, you got to really read. All right? And that's a basic breakdown. And Elohim said, let the herb bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So bring forth these fruits, man, to come on. All right, these herbs, these grasses, these plants. All right, and to show that the Most High, what the hell, show that Esau is wicked. A quick point, you know, a lot of plants have become extinct, you know, being tied with Esau's rulership. You know, a lot of plants have actually went extinct. Let's go get that. Let's go see. Let's go look that up. Plants extinct in America. There we go. You got a lot of endangered trees: maple leaf oak, Hawaii electrion, Florida yew, California redwoods, longleaf pine, so on and so forth. So Esau is causing a lot of these plants to go extinct. Let's see here. Plants extinct. Which you'd have to look more into those trees, but to see which one they fucked with, man. But you know what they did? They did a lot of slashing and burning. They removed trees, removed grassland to build these cities. All right, now I'm here in Ithaca, okay, and in upstate New York. Before these devils were out here, this was grassland. All right, this is Native American territory. Before all these buildings and shit were here, before these cars causing all kinds of pollution were here. All right, this was grassland. It was beautiful. All right. We're gonna get. I got a lot on my mind, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh fuck. American plants that have gone extinct. Hold on, Slocky. Give me a second. Oh yeah, this one is just a list of while we often think of extinction in terms of faraway places like Antarctica or the Amazon rainforest, this cruel process is actually taking place in our own backyards. David Wilkoff, Slocky, this is Stacker.com, American plants that have gone extinct. David Wilkoff, a conservation scientist from Princeton University, estimated that there are 14,000 to 35,000 endangered species in the U.S. That's up to 18% of our country's plants and animals. And while it's easy to study the population decline of large animals like the American bison or the California condor, smaller animals and plants are hard to track, leaving many scientists to suspect that stupid estimates like Wilkoff's are far under the mark. All right, so far under the mark, so that means there's more than 35,000 endangered species. All right, and this is what this devil has done. When he came over and took over America and started slashing and burning trees down and destroying wildlife, all right, your so-called white man, all right, this is what he's done. All right, this is what he's done. You know, he's destroyed species and removed them. So let's get this one first, and then we'll get another one, and then we'll keep reading the article. And then if I have something else to say about it, I'll go ahead and do that. Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst givest reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints. All right, we're the prophets, we're the saints, we're the holy people, man. All right, that serve the Lord, and none that fear thy name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroy the earth. So the nations are going to be angry. The nations are pissed off. All right, because this so-called white man here in America, he stole this land from the so-called Native Americans. All right, he stole this land from the so-called Native Americans. He's put cars here. In the time of the Industrial Revolution, he built factories all over the place. All right, putting all kinds of chemicals in the air, destroying landscapes, destroying wildlife. All right, killing and running through entire species of animals. All right, there's species of animals that we don't see anymore that used to be down here, man. All right, and one of them is that bison. You know, now I'm not sure if every single bison is gone, but they killed a lot of them, man. Because what these devils did when they came down here to America was that they killed all the cattle to try and starve out the so-called Native American. All right, and that's what they did. They would go out and they would just start hunting the hell out of them, man. All right, that's what these devils did. You know, and they're gonna pay for that. They're gonna be destroyed. All right. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell upon the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. All right. So yeah. So that scroll, that heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. That's talking about the mushroom cloud. When you see a scroll when it's rolled together, it's like, you know, it has that kind of mushroom cloud kind of shape. All right, and that's what's gonna come here to America. All right, now when you look at a mushroom cloud from afar, it may look tiny, but mushroom clouds are very big. All right, and think about it. Technology has advanced a very large amount since the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. All right, so think about it now, man. All these nuclear missiles, these ICBM missiles. Hey, man, it's gonna be bad, bro. You know, it's gonna be bad. All right, it's gonna be all bad. As I like to say, it's gonna be all bad. Oh yeah, but yeah, back to this article, man. I had to get better with that. I gotta, you know, sometimes prove these points. You know. Revelation chapter 18, verse 23. Yeah. Let's see here. Give me a second. Let's get it. King James. Because I like using this app right here. So yeah, the CDC is now advising opioid use for treating pain. Which, if this was a so-called God-fearing kingdom, if these Edomites are the people of the Most High, why are they pushing out these drugs, man? It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up one bit. All right, well, I'm just gonna go to the point. In the light of a candle shall shine no more at all indeed, and the voice of a bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all indeed. For thy mercies were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So that's when this country is destroyed, man. All right, all mirth, all joy is going to be taken from America. There's going to be no more jumping and laughing and giggling and, you know, just fucking around. All right, that shit is about to get cut the fuck off. All right. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 24, verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. All right, and that city of confusion is America. All right, because America is that place of great confusion. You got faggots. You have butt bandits. All right, you have these losers on every fucking corner. All right, every single corner you see losers and nigglets. All right, you have crime. You have all kinds of abominations going on down here. You have women that feel that they can rule over their man, which according to the scriptures is off. All right, a man can have multiple wives in this society, even though according to the Bible you absolutely can't. It's completely off. The society is completely ass backwards. It's completely ass backwards, and people believe it, and they know it. Even people that don't really care or don't really search things out, they can tell that something's horribly, horribly wrong with this country. All right? But yeah, let's go back to Revelation, the 18th chapter, and the 23rd verse. And that's why people kill themselves in this society, man. All right, because they know deep, deep, deep within the fucking confines of that skull, all right, where you got a nigga demon twerking, all right, that something's horribly, horribly wrong, all right? Something's very wrong with this society, and people can feel it. You know, you can feel it. All right, so by thy sources will all nations deceive. All right, so when this country's destroyed, man, you know, that's what they've been doing through their. I said I already broke that down already. When this country is destroyed, when Edomite rulership is put down, all right, and America is destroyed and nuked, then is gonna come, all that mirth is gonna be destroyed. All right, but that's the city of confusion being broken down, which I brought out. I forgot the last part. That the houses are shut up that no man may come in. That's referring to the quarantines. That's referring to today. All right, and we're seeing the society getting broke down more and more. And as I said, we gotta wait and see how everything else plays out, because they're saying that that normalcy is gonna return again. Fauci, they're saying that there's gonna be normalcy again. That they're gonna shut down the mandates, make it on a not shut down the mandates, make it on a local level. But I got another article that says that some places are gonna lower things down. But we got the article, and if I have time, I will talk about it. But if I don't, then I'll probably make a news video on it, either today or sometime tomorrow, or whenever I get the chance to, because I do have another idea, a series for a video on the college system. I wanna dig like really deep into the college system and make a whole like 5-part series, just like tearing that shit apart. You know how it's worthless, how the information there is false. You know, I want to really touch on a lot of shit, man, because you got a lot of niggas that are into that bullshit, and they're bugged the fuck out. You know. But yeah, that word sorceries is pharmakeia, use or the administering of drugs. Point made, or pharmacy, the pharmaceutical industry. Pharmakeia, pharmaceutical, okay? Poisoning, all right? These drugs are poison, all right? As I said, with these opioids, opioids mess with the neurotransmitters within your brain. No, I don't want that. There we go. Actually, no, that's not it. This is some other shit. I don't want that one either. All right, so this is pronghornpsych.com. How does opioid use affect the brain? Let's see here. What are opioids? Opioids are a group of drugs derived from the opium poppy plant. These drugs can take the form of prescription medication, also referred to as street killers or illicit drugs, also known as street drugs. All right, so it's called painkillers or illicit drugs. It's drugs. All drugs are off, man. Which they say, oh, these drugs are illicit. You can't say, but now they're saying this drug's illicit or it's street drugs, but now they're starting to use it. Can't you see the bullshit here, man? All right, can't you guys see the bullshit? They say something's off, and then the next few years, and they change it when they want to get their cut of the industry. All right, it's all bullshit, man. It's all lies. All right. Prescription opioids can. Nah, we don't get into that one. All opioids, whether used for medical purposes or not, decrease the amount of pain signals the body sends to the brain. This is how opioids relieve pain. All right. Opioids in the brain. Opioids bind to opioid receptors in the brain. When opioids attach to these receptors, the interaction triggers a series of chemical changes between neurons that lead to simultaneous pleasure and pain relief, so it fucks with your brain. The human body has 3 kinds of opioid receptors: mu, delta, and kappa. Which shows you that this country it follows after that first beast. This country is America, the reincarnation of beast that was, but is not, but yet is. All right, and many other scriptures that prove that America is Rome, man. All right, because what you got here is these are Greek and Latin words that they're going into for these brains, for brain receptors. When you learn about the human body, you learn antique anatomy in high school. They tell you about latissimus dorsi, pectoralis major and minor. All right, the deltoids are your medial delt, rear delt, or so on and so forth. All that is Latin and Greek words. All right, if this country was so God-fearing, or so in love with God, or so deep with the Most High and the Most High's people, and the Most High is dealing with America, then they would speak in the Paleo Hebrew. They would have anatomy and anatomical words in the Paleo Hebrew. All right, but they don't. Surely they're not dealing with them. We're gonna skip this one. Human body naturally produces endogenous opioids, which function like hormones and activate opioid receptors in the brain. For example, endorphins or endogenous opioids. When endorphins interact with opioid receptors in the brain, you feel euphoric, elated, and free of pain. All right, so we know in endorphins, like what you have, the runner's high, your body creates some naturally, but these devils want to create and have opioid medication and use that to treat pain, which is off. All right. CDC proposes new guidelines for treating pain, including opioid use. Now, of course, there will be having opioid use and treating patients medically with opioids are gonna have their side effects. It's fucking drugs, man. All right, drugs are gonna have their side effects. But first you arrest niggas, you put niggas in jail for using opioids and taking drugs and selling drugs, but now you want to use it yourself. All right, it's a bunch of bullshit. All right, won't tell that decree unrighteous decrees. That's unrighteous, man. All right, we're gonna get into those too. What are the side effects of opioids? In addition to controlling pain, opioids can make some people feel relaxed, happy, or high, and can be addictive. Additional side effects can include slow breathing, constipation, nausea, confusion, and drowsiness. All right, so there's side effects to these drugs, man. All right, there's side effects to these drugs. You're not supposed to be taking these drugs. Not to be over righteous. Of course, the brothers have some sort of horrible, life-threatening disease, and they have to do certain things. That's something that they gotta do. But we're not out here. If you can use herbs and heal yourself with herbs and a lot of prayer, that's the way to go. Not taking Esau's medicine, which is just gonna make you worse and worse. All right, and it will kill you because, as we know, what Esau wants to do is have it where you die before you reach retirement age. They want to have you where you die before you reach retirement age, and you really can't use it, because if you're dead, you can't use that money. And I think it gets passed on to your family. But if you have no family, where does the money go? I guess they have to repossess it. Someone's gonna get their hands on it somehow. Sirach 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, so never trust thine enemy. And as you know, when you read Psalm 83, our enemies are Esau, man. Esau is our enemy. All right, Esau Edom. All right, he is our enemy. He's not our friend. All right, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right, and as we know, Esau is called the border of wickedness. Esau is the wicked. The so-called white man is the wicked according to the Bible. All right, and not just the so-called white man, woman, and child. They're the wicked according to the Holy Bible. And how can you prove that? Look at American society. Every single corner of the society is wicked. All right? And they say, oh, go somewhere else. If you hate America so much, why don't you go somewhere else? Well, as we know, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You can't flee, man. You cannot flee. Everywhere you go on this planet, Esau rules it, man. Everywhere. He's everywhere. Okay? He's in the east, he in the west, he in the north, he in the south, he all over the place, man. He's in control. Okay? Let's get this one. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe to them that decree and righteous decrees. Woe to them that decree and righteous decrees, and they write grievousness which they have prescribed. Alright? So that's what they do. They write these unrighteous decrees. They decree these unrighteous decrees. Alright? Coming out saying, proposing guidelines to take opioids, tell people that you have to take a highly experimental and highly dangerous and volatile vaccine. Okay? And I have it on my page. When you go into the Department of Defense, the DOD, okay, after vaccines were introduced, heart attacks and various health effects started to rise within the Department of Defense, within staff. You know, and I have it, it's leaked, okay? It's leaked information, and all you gotta do is go to my Odyssey and read that, watch that video, man. All right, there's a lot of health effects that are starting to grow within the Department of Defense. I believe that's how it goes. You know, brothers can go look at it for themselves. I'm gonna reread it, rewatch it myself, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was talking about, man. It was something called DMED, which is going into the Department of Defense medical surveillance. You know, and it shows you, ever since these vaccines became mandated, people started taking, well, not really mandated, because I mean, they're not really, that OSHA mandate got blocked, but we gotta wait and see how else everything else plays out. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of business, especially in New York State, well, not New York State, New York City, you know, you have inspectors come into these buildings to make sure people are masked. If you don't have a vaccine, you can't eat there. You know, now things are different. You know, if you go to different places, I'm not gonna talk about it because I don't wanna get certain places that I like. You know, I don't want to blow up my spot, you dig? Because I don't want these devils to watch my page and then say, oh, we need to go have an investigation in Ithaca, and then now I go to a restaurant and I want to get me some grubbing. Now I can't. So I'm not going to speak about which places I know that are dope. You know, but I ain't gonna let you guys know, man. I ain't gonna let you guys know that one, man. I'm gonna keep that one to myself. All right. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, that they may rob the fatherless. And that's what they do, all right, with their loss. All right, putting out these vaccines, putting out decrees, trying to use these different drugs, different medications. Now, first and foremost, we know that they cause these diseases. These so-called white people, they cause diseases. All right, when you have a phone, it has low frequency or non-ionizing radiation coming off of it, that gives you cancer. There were studies about that, man, all the way when you had a little flip phone, man, they were going into that. I was about nothing more than 6 or 7, you know. I know there's been flip phones for a long time, but I think I had a flip phone at one point when I was like maybe 7 or 8, all right. Those things cause cancer. You know, gaming systems, all that stuff causes cancer. Okay? When you're at school, you have to use the computer a lot. All right? When you were in high school, you have to use the computer a lot and do your homework. That has horrible effects on you. All right? It's all unrighteous. All right? They turn away the needy from judgment. All right? So people that need to be judged, they don't give those people that judgment. And everything in America, man, you know, you can really buy your way out of it. If you have enough money, you can commit heinous crimes and get away with it, and that's off. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 2, to deprive the poor of their rights and will withhold justice from the oppressed of my people. So I broke that down wrong, no problem. Or let's see here in another translation. This is the NIV. Let's check another translation. Turn aside the needy from judgment. What does that mean? To not give the needy, the poor, their justice. to deprive the poor of justice and deny the rights of the needy among my people. They prey on widows and take advantage of orphans. Exactly. All right. So that's what they do, man. They take advantage of people in the society. All right, not just widows, orphans, and women that are sad, and women that have, their own issues. They have these ad campaigns and all this bullshit. You have the elderly, they were damn near forced to take vaccines within the elderly homes. All right, that's off. All right, it's a bunch of bullshit. All right, but this is the shit that we deal with in this society. So, let's go. I'm thinking of something here. It's in Proverbs. And I love this one too. This one in Proverbs I'm gonna get if I can find it. Like this one is a good one. I like it a lot. I think it's. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they are abomination to the Lord. All right? In the NLT version, acquitting the guilty, condemning the innocent, both are detestable to the Lord. And we're the innocent. All right? We're the ones that are innocent. We're coming out here and trying to get right with the Lord. We're going into the law about how we're not supposed to be taking vaccines, how we're not supposed to be puncturing our skin, and now they tried demanding, and then they're gonna mandate the mark of the beast, which we know we're not supposed to be taking that either. If you take the mark of the beast, you're gonna be put to death. All right, point blank, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Now, I want to go back to this article. See how much precepts you can get into with just the first couple sentences, man. That's just the way it is. Okay, yeah, we're gonna read a little bit of this because the thing kind of speaks for itself. The title: the federal government on Thursday proposed new guidelines for prescribing opioid painkillers that removes its previous recommended ceilings on doses for chronic pain patients, and instead encourage doctors to use their best judgment. All right, so now they're overturning ceilings and mandates or orders that they've had for the medical industry, and they're putting new ones in place. So it shows you, man, that these devils, they don't know what they're doing, man. And that's why you're not supposed to trust your enemy. All right, now they're going to start prescribing opioid painkillers, which are known to cause horrible adverse side effects. All right? But the overall thrust of the recommendations was that doctors should turn first to non-opioid therapies for both chronic and acute pain, including prescription medications like gabapentin and over-the-counter ones like ibuprofen, as well as physical therapy, massage, and acupuncture. Ibuprofen and all those other drugs, those are just drugs too. Whether they be help you against curing colds, those are all drugs. And there's natural ways to cure colds to help if you have a sore throat, if you have mucus build up in your throat. All right, you can drink hot tea and honey. No one tells you about that, but you can drink hot tea and honey. All right, that'll clear your throat out. But they don't go into that in the society. You don't learn that in school. What you do learn, you learn a lot about drugs, a lot about chemistry, a lot how to make these drugs and these compounds. All right, and it's bullshit. You don't need that shit, man. Those still in draft form, the 12 recommendations issued by the CDC are the first comprehensive revisions of the agency's opioid prescribing guidelines in 2016. They walk a fine line between embracing the need for doctors to prescribe opioids to alleviate some cases of severe pain, while guarding against exposing patients to the well-documented perils of opioids. Which, as we know, these devils are liars, man. And the word doctor does mean to falsify. All right. Now, certain things, doctor, like a doctor of the law means to be an expert, as we know, but doctor also means to be falsified. This is what these doctors do. They falsify. All right, they lie to you. They will uh, hinder or not tell you all the side effects of a drug. You know, they do manipulation like that. You know, just hear people talk about it, about this medical industry, about if they have a sickness, the doctors won't tell them. Like, people will take things that they don't even really need to take. They'll just give it to them anyway, just so they get, you know, more payment and more out of them. You know, which I gotta go into how all that works, but you do pay a certain amount of money, you know, to see the doctor, and yeah, if you see specialist doctors, now you gotta go to this doctor and that doctor. It's a money-making scheme. All right. So yeah, it's still in draft form. That's it. That's it on that one. Moderna's, actually, I have something else I want to go talk about, just to show you how this devil, all right, this so-called white man is a liar, and his drugs don't help you. All right, HIV. When HIV was a big thing, in like the 80s, and still is, it's still around to this day, HIV and AIDS. They have a form of treatment called AZT. All right, they use a form of treatment called AZT, which is zidovudine, HIV antiviral. It can treat HIV infection, which causes AIDS. It can also be used during childbirth to keep the mother from passing HIV to her baby. This medication does not cure HIV or AIDS, but may slow the progress of disease or prolong life. All right, so they clinic this disease, this thing, I'm not sure if I said it was a cure, but it was medication for it to slow down the progressing of it. AZT is actually horribly harmful, and I have a documentary on my page for you brothers that really want to get into it. But AZT has horrible side effects. AZT can be toxic to the bone marrow, the soft tissue, the side bones where blood cells are made. This is caddy.ca, AZT, zidovudine, Canada's source for HIV and hepatitis C information. As a result, so it's toxic bone marrow, the soft tissue inside bones where blood vessels are made. As a result, AZT could cause anemia, lowered red blood cell levels, and neutropenia, lowered neutrophil or white blood cell counts. In serious cases, this can require blood transfusions, and AZT must be stopped. All right, but they use AZT to treat people with HIV. At the same time, it kills them. All right, and gives them all sorts of side effects. And this is what Esau does, because there's a quote, I can't remember how exactly it goes. A cured patient is like lost profit.